Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dishin with the Dietitian. We are live now, and I am so thrilled to have you on the live stream, particularly during the coronavirus. It's just a wonderful opportunity as we all may be feeling a little isolated to be able to be together. So let me to say hello to all of you. And as always, if you are here, give me the thumbs up button to let me know and or say hi and any questions or things you want me to talk about as it pertains to the coronavirus. I feel it's such an important topic as it's on my mind, as I'm sure it's on the minds of many of you. So let us get to it. But for those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. What puts me in a position to do this? Oh, hi, Janice. I'm so glad you're here. I have been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. Currently, I'm the director of currently, I'm a clinical dietitian at Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I also have a private practice. I've contributed to a chapter in a book written by cardiologists at Mass General called Facing Heart Disease. I also have appeared in national publications such as Harper's Bazaar and Family Circle magazine. I contribute to many articles, many publications, and I've appeared in television. I also consult with many corporations, as it gives me my greatest joy and pleasure to help you to reach your dietary goals by providing current, accurate, evidence-based nutrition information. Together, we will shop, we'll cook, and I will navigate the way. So hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I can tell you that last time we had a live stream here, my first question or comment was what to do about stress eating. So I know that many of you are feeling anxious, and it's totally understandable. We are in completely uncharted waters. I don't know about people who are home from work, if they've been told that they possibly will be going back to work at a certain date, and then that date gets moved, and then it gets moved again. And I know today in Massachusetts, Governor Baker just changed the date. So we're all in a very fluid time. And for those of you who like to plan, who like to know, that can be very unsettling. So let me know if that's the way all of you are feeling. But I want to tell you about a researcher, Brene Brown, and she said something really terrific. I thought it was very helpful to me, and I want to share it now with you. And she said, if you don't acknowledge your feelings, they're going to eat you up alive. So make sure you do acknowledge your feelings. And let me know how many of you are stress eaters. There are those who eat when they're stressed and those who can't eat when they're stressed. So let me know which one you are, because you might be finding that you've been going through this for a couple of weeks and that the pounds are coming on, or you might be finding that you can't eat at all. So let me know. Let me know if it's been impacting your sleep. And then we'll talk about how to take it back. But I can tell you that there are a few things that you can do. So definitely write in and let me know if you're here. There are a few things that you can do to help you to get where you want to go. For me, when I'm feeling anxious, because I'm one of those that I like to know. I like my roadmap. I like to have, I can be spontaneous, but I like to have a general notion of how I'm doing and where I'm going. Let me know if that is you. I had a friend who was a real type A personality, and every night before going to bed, he made lists of what he was going to do the next day. So let me know if that's you, because this might be a little tricky to do that, particularly if you don't know when you're going back to work or when your life will resume as you've known it to be. You can't go to the gym, you can't do this or that. So make sure that you ask me. Also, if you're curious about the coronavirus and what it is and about transmission, we can certainly address that as well. So I'm happy to address any of this. I just don't want to repeat if you've been hearing a lot about this in the news and you already have a good handle on it. I certainly don't want to repeat for you. But hi, boy, do we need this talk right now. I'm so glad you're here, and I think the same way. So I really want you, when you're feeling anxious, to to anchor yourself in the present. That's really what you have to do. Anchor yourself in the present, because you can't worry about what's happened in the past. You can't plan for the future, certainly. So you need to be right here in the moment, which is actually a good tool for us. So if we get this tool now, it will serve us well in the future as we go forward. But arm yourself with knowledge, not with fear, not with hype, but with knowledge. Know the facts. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about the facts as it relates to your diet. And we'll talk about the facts with questions that I thought you might have. Should I order takeout? Should I not? Should I be concerned if I go to the market? What should I be doing? Let's talk about that tonight in the live stream. And if you have any questions or comments, continue, just like Janice and Steinler Consulting has done, to keep putting them in, because they're really helpful to me. And I'm sure they will enrich a discussion for those of you who watch the live stream perhaps later. So let me talk about some of those. First, the coronavirus. It can linger on surfaces. So the more porous the surface, the least amount of time it will survive. The harder the surface, it does better on harder surfaces. So something like copper, which is porous, it will only last about 4 hours. For something like cardboard, it will last about 24 hours. But for something harder like plastic or stainless steel, it will last up to 3 days, up to 72 hours. That's why be careful when you go for you go to grab a door, you're opening up a door, or anything stainless steel or plastic, because it can last longer. It'll last up to 72 hours. And if you're going to the store and you're using a plastic card, then make sure that you wipe that card off when you get home, and make sure you absolutely wash your hands thoroughly, which means 20 seconds. And I think I showed you before, because I always thought I knew exactly how to wash hands, but I really wasn't as good as I thought. That you're going to really go the inside. You're going to go the inside of your hands. You're going to make sure you do your thumb. We tend to forget the thumb. And then turn your hands over and do the outside, the front of the palm here, and this way, and try to really get under your fingernails. So make sure you give a thorough washing of 20 seconds to try to wash. This virus does not do well in soap. It also doesn't do well in alcohol. So when you're cleaning things, make sure you clean thoroughly. You wear gloves, and then you're going to toss the glove, or you're going to wash that glove. So make sure you understand the difference between cleaning and disinfecting. When you clean something, you remove the germ, you remove the dirt and the germs. But to disinfect means you're going to kill those germs. So clean first and then disinfect with something with at least 70% alcohol. That's an important piece. So you want to make sure you thoroughly clean you, and you clean your surfaces. In terms of if you should be worried about ordering takeout from a restaurant, I think it's great to support local restaurants. And also, if you're going to the supermarket or you're getting your groceries delivered, that you want to make sure, if it's cardboard, take it. If you can take anything out of the original packaging, I certainly would. You don't want to paralyze yourself with fear. You don't want to drive yourself nutty, because that anxiousness will certainly impact. Then you're going to go for the Oreos. But make sure that you, when you go to the supermarket or you're ordering for delivery, that you only get what you want to have at home. You're home. We eat when foods are accessible. So make sure you only have what you need at home, and make sure you have a very clear roadmap. So the other way that you can take control as you're anchoring yourself in the present is to make sure you have a clear understanding of what it is you're going to be eating. Plan your meals, and then you can make an appropriate shopping list. The good news is you'll only have what you need to have. And because you already know what you're going to be having for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner, then you don't have to worry about it. It's already in place. You're putting structure in a day that might not otherwise have it. And this, to me, is the key way that you're going to stay on track. Put in a time for exercise, because that will also help reduce anxiety and stress. So make sure you do so. Maybe your schedule is more flexible. Maybe you can do a little bit more work at night, and it gives you more time during the day to get some exercise in. So maybe you can take advantage of the fact, if you're working from home, that you can perhaps juggle a schedule a little bit more. You might end up loving this even more. And then when it's time to go back, you might say, oh, I was just getting used to this. So make sure you use all of this to your advantage. In terms of foods. And in terms of taking a supplement, or I have to tell you that there have been many publications who have come to me and asked me to give bits of advice, or to write contributions to different publications. And I have to tell you that it's not going to sound sexy. That I can't, there is not one nutrient that you can take, or one vitamin or one supplement that you can take that will boost your immunity or make your immunity work better. Your immune system does require certain vitamins and macronutrients to work properly. And you want your immune system to work properly so you can help to better fight infection. And so vitamins like vitamins A and C and D and E, B12, folic acid, iron and zinc and copper and selenium, you all need to have these. Hi, Boo. I'm so happy you're here. Awesome. But you don't need to be so zoomed in on any one, because sometimes a little is good and a lot is not better. A lot actually can do you harm. So many people ask about garlic. Well, I can tell you that garlic, there aren't great studies, but some studies suggest that it can help with a cold. But let me tell you about garlic. The thing with garlic is it produces a chemical called allicin, and that people take supplements. And if you're going to take a supplement, make sure you take an enteric coated one, so it'll go right to your stomach and not into your. It won't dissolve, and it will dissolve in your stomach and not into your intestines. But garlic can increase the risk of bleeding. So if you're somebody who's on Coumadin, for example, or Plavix, or an aspirin, even if you're taking Advil or Motrin or Naproxen, then taking a garlic supplement is not a great idea. It's going to increase bleeding and bruising. So I wouldn't recommend it. There was actually something came out in the South China Morning Post of a woman who had to be treated in the hospital after consuming 1.5 grams of raw garlic. Now, let me show you what that looks like. I thought I'd show you because I'm a visual learner. So I think if you see it, you can get it. And this is what I had left. I use garlic all the time, but 1 to 2 cloves of garlic are totally safe. And who knows, and it probably will help a little bit. But this is 1.75 grams of garlic. She had a little less than this. So she didn't have a ginormous amount, but she had a good amount. And that was enough to need her to get hospitalized treatment. That's pretty stunning. So just be mindful. Be mindful that this is a great opportunity for people who are selling you things that they have no business, based on zero science. My daughter hates me to call out names of other YouTubers, so I'm not going to do it. But there is somebody who is selling something called the MMS. He calls it a miracle mineral supplement. I mean, seriously, it contains chlorine dioxide, which is a bleaching agent. So I can't tell you that I would tell you to do that. And the FDA last year warned against the danger of this, as it can lead to nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and symptoms of severe dehydration. So be mindful, because people are going to prey on your vulnerability and on your anxiousness. And I just don't want you to do this. I want you to make sure that you're based in good science and on hard facts. That will remove any feelings of anxiousness, or will help to diminish them and for you to better manage them. Alcohol, just so you know, it won't protect you, and it can be dangerous, and it can increase the risk of health problems. So I'm not going to tell you alcohol is a good thing. People ask about vitamin D. Let me just do a blanket statement. There is no vitamin or supplement that is connected to helping protect against the coronavirus. Why? Because we just don't know this virus. So we really haven't done good studies. Vitamin D is very important for overall health. And many people are deficient in vitamin D. Mid-April, we're in Boston. I'm in Boston. So those who are north of Atlanta, you could be outside all day right now. You're too far from the equator, and so you can't make enough vitamin D. But wait till mid-April, then you can. So from now to mid-April, I recommend just about everybody take a vitamin D supplement. Always get your vitamin D level checked, and then you can see, as you take a supplement, how your body responds to supplementation. because it is a fat soluble vitamin, and too much can make your calcium level go up. So be mindful of that. A little bit will go a long way. I recommend about 1,000 as a preventative dose from now to mid-April, about 1,000 international units a day, depending on what your vitamin D status is. I also recommend for anybody over 50 to take a vitamin B12 supplement. The reason is vitamin B12, comes tightly bound to protein in food like fish and chicken and eggs and turkey, and it requires acid in your stomach to pull it apart, and then you can use it. But over the age of 50, this is going to make those of us over 50 feel very special. We don't have enough acid in our stomach to do that step, so you could eat all the food you want. You can't access the vitamin B12, so everybody over 50 needs a vitamin B12 supplement. In terms of vitamin C, there's been a lot of talk about vitamin C. They're actually doing a study right now in Wuhan, China, looking at giving patients, critically ill patients, high doses of vitamin C to see if it will help them with recovery from the coronavirus. That study, however, is small, and it won't be out until September of 2020. So we have to wait to see. But preventatively, no, I haven't seen anything that shows me that vitamin C will make a difference. Is it important to have vitamin C? Absolutely. It's an antioxidant and it will help with your immune system. But too much is no good. So be mindful of that. Hi, Rosemary. What dose of vitamin B12? So it depends on your age. I'm going to do this off the top of my head because I don't have my chart in front of me. But in general, if you're 52, I think that it's 50 to 75, I think it is. You take about 250 micrograms, and from 75 on, this is off the top of my head, so I'm going to get back to you, is 500 micrograms. This is a water-soluble vitamin. If you get to the store and you see a 500 microgram pill, and I told you 250, depending on where you are, or you even see 1,000, you're okay because it's water soluble. You'll just pee it out. You'll have expensive urine, as I say. But don't take a 5,000, or you can overload your system even if it's water soluble. So I hope that helps, Rosemary. But I will definitely get back to you when I look at my chart. I don't have those notes in front of me. But maybe if you get me my phone, maybe I can take a look. For vitamin C, I'd rather you get all of this from food. If we truly had a deficiency of vitamin C in this country, we would see something called scurvy. Since we don't see that in this country, it's not that vitamin C isn't important, but most of us are getting enough vitamin C. So get it from foods. The best source of vitamin C, one of the foods that gives you the most vitamin C, might surprise you, is a red pepper. So if you love red pepper, which I absolutely do, that'd be a great thing to enjoy, but you to include in your diet. But also things like oranges and strawberries and green peppers and broccoli, they'll all give you some vitamin C. So mix them up to give the most benefits. And that's why I always say, eat the rainbow. Vary the colors of your fruit and vary the colors of your vegetables that give you different antioxidants that are all protective. And that's just what you're looking for. When I say protective, to help boost immunity. So that's just what you want to do. You want to make sure that you stay really well hydrated. Look at the color of your urine. It should be clear. You should be able to read newspaper through it. The deeper the color, the more dehydrated you are. Go get some water. Next time you go to the bathroom, you'll see a difference. It's an automatic feedback mechanism. Look how quickly we got so close. But just know that when you drink something, saliva has antimicrobial properties. So it will either kill a microorganism or stop its growth. So, and you'll push things into your stomach, which is acidic, and hopefully that should take care of that. So to help reduce your risk, make sure you stay well hydrated. Also make sure that you get adequate sleep. Really, really important. So what would I buy? Make sure we're trying to limit exposure. We're trying to limit going out in public. We're trying to limit contact with other people. This has sort of like this virus is in the form of droplets. So when you're around somebody who sneezes a lot, it comes out. They're so small that they actually can be suspended in the air for a few minutes, not hours, but for a few minutes. So that's why the masks. Just keep in mind, I see so many people. Have you been going out to the store and seeing all these people wearing the masks and wondering if you're not wearing one, should that be you? Well, let me tell you what the masks are. The reason initially for you hearing the message, don't wear the mask, is because we wanted people on the front lines, healthcare workers, to make sure that they got the masks. One of these gorgeous masks that people are making, I think I should bedazzle mine, but is that it is in originally, it's also intended for somebody who's sick. So if they should sneeze, if they should breathe something out, it stays with them and it doesn't go to you. It prevents you from getting sick. So it first is for somebody who's sick. For somebody who's not sick, who just wants to wear the mask for added protection, it won't be 100%, but it will give you about a 50% protection, because there are pockets here. It's not sealed, so it can come in and also can get through into your eyes. So you can wear a mask. It'll give it, it's not perfect, but it'll give you some degree of protection. It absolutely will.
What about gloves?
It's as long gloves the same thing, but it goes as long as you're not touching your mouth. So the way is not touching your mouth. So this virus, the coronavirus, has little spikes and it attaches to your lungs and it needs to get to your lungs. So it has no wings, it has no feet. The only way it's going to get into your lungs is through you helping it to get there. So if you touch something and then you touch your mouth or you touch your face, you're giving it easy access. So if you have gloves and you touch something that has the coronavirus on it, but then you think you're protected because you're wearing gloves and you still touch your face or your mouth, then you did, or you rub your eyes, then you didn't do any good at all. But if you don't touch it and then you take the gloves off, that's great. I would still wash your hands. It's no substitute for good hand washing. But it's a great question. I love this. See, one of the best parts of this for me is my daughter is home and she asks great questions. Hi, Janice. How are you? I agree. Everyone should wear a mask and gloves. Opening food from grocery and mail. What do you think? So, in terms of mail, it doesn't really. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. So you can't be too overcautious, I guess. But in terms of groceries, don't paralyze yourself from fear, and know that these things, the more porous your substance, the less it's gonna hold. And people are also afraid of ordering things on Amazon or ordering packages. But just keep in mind, if you go to the supermarket and you get things home right away, I would just take it home. I would wash my fruits and vegetables. I'd put my things away, and then I'd I'd start by washing my hand. I'd wash twice, frankly, because I just think you can't do this enough. I'd wash my hands. I'd wash my things. I'd put things in other containers and put them in their appropriate places, and then I'd wash my hands again, probably, just to make sure what's the essence. And then I'd put some lotion on my hands because you don't want to destroy the outer layer of your skin either. So I would also do that. Do you think gargling helps? I don't know if gargling helps. I don't think gargling helps. The whole idea is if it's in you, it's in you. So gargling won't really get rid of it. So I don't think gargling is the way to go. Stay hydrated. Gargling can't hurt, but I don't think it's going to be a protection against the coronavirus. If you have a sore throat, gargling is a good idea. But other than that, I don't think so. I think it's more about boosting your immunity and eating the right foods, eating a well-balanced diet, just the way we always have. And make sure that you get things that can last you a while at home so that you don't have to go out so often to the market or go out. The whole idea is that we hunker down. I've got the one thing that has saved me. I don't know about you. Is that I've been able to go out for walks, and it just helps me feel better, get my anchoring down, get my mojo back, as they say. Let me know if you've been going for walks, but I always keep the social distance, and I am shocked and really, frankly, a little appalled when I see groups who gather. It shows you that they just don't get it. They don't understand the transmission of this virus, and they don't understand what the part that they're doing in terms of driving it up. So it shocks me, just does. So to limit your exposure, include foods that will last you a long time. Hi, Janice. How are you? Do I have an opinion about zinc? Um, a lot of people are talking about this. I only get delivery. I walk to, but do not go anywhere. Right, where there are a lot of people. I love that, and I love that you walk and that you're mindful about where you get things delivered. A lot of people are doing that, and I think that's totally a great idea. So good for you to take those steps. In terms of zinc, I wouldn't take a zinc supplement. I'll tell you why. It's really rare to have a zinc deficiency, and it can interfere with your absorption of magnesium, which is another important nutrient to include. So I wouldn't take a zinc supplement, and zinc has not been shown. Nothing's been shown with corona. And you take 3 miles. You walk 3 miles a day as well. Oh, with your see, you can do it with your husband, Rosemary. That's awesome. So I love that you guys are walking. That's really awesome. And I'm glad that you're finding that it's giving you solace, and it's helping you to keep that exercise piece in place, which helps everything. But these questions are awesome. You guys are beyond, as you know, the best. But things like beans and legumes, they last long. They can give you some protein. You can combine them like chickpeas or lentils with pasta. I love black beans, and whole wheat pasta is delicious. You can mix them in salads or soups or stews. You can get canned fish like canned salmon and canned tuna. And they're shelf stable. They last long. You can get nut butters and can have them with fruit or whole wheat crackers and breads. For those who have a peanut allergy or a tree nut allergy, you can do the sun butter. I love whole wheat pasta, and I can't even believe that I'm telling you this, because this, as many of you know, was the hardest thing for me to try, but I do love it. I love it with tomatoes and with onions and with shrimp or with fish or with chicken or with Baby Bell light cheese. I think it's just terrific. But all these grains can be side dishes or they can be main dishes. I'm going to share with you a recipe that somebody shared with me. And I hope if he's listening, he's going to know his recipe. And it was unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you that it's something I could eat just about every day. So I'm going to share it with you because I thought it was delicious. So you saute some onions and garlic. You know I love garlic, and it is good for you. I just don't recommend the supplement. And some red pepper. There's your vitamin C. In a touch of sesame oil till it's cooked. Then you add broccoli slaw. If you've never noticed broccoli slaw, go to in your produce section of the market, you're going to see a bag already cut up for you called broccoli slaw. I'm not sure where you're ordering from, Janice, but if you're ordering from Whole Foods, from Prime, they have it there. Roach Brothers has it there. So I'm sure many places do. It's called broccoli slaw, and you add broccoli slaw to this, and I add in shrimp. Now, you could add chicken. You could add whatever you'd like. You could do tofu. You could do whatever you'd like. But I added shrimp. The guy who gave me the recipe also added shrimp, and I added my cooked microwave brown rice, a dash of sriracha and Thai ginger marinade, which you get at Whole Foods, and then you can top it off with some chopped scallions. And this person included chopped nuts. I did just the chopped scallions, and it's divine. It really does top anything you'd get in any Chinese restaurant. Sounds lovely and less chopping. Yeah, it's really good. Right. And it's already done for you. How awesome is that? And delicious. You're going to be, hi, Steinler. How are you? Oh, Tom Monahan. You convinced me on the brown rice, but I am not there on the whole wheat pasta yet. So, Tom, hi. I'm so glad to have you here. So, Tom, I would try, if you can get to Shaw's. Shaw's has a brand called Delalo. Their pasta, their whole wheat pasta you would never ever know the difference. So trust me on this one. This was the hardest jump for me, was to try a whole wheat pasta. I'm not an adventurous eater. So I've told you the story before. I think my son was over and he said, I'm hungry. Could you make me some pasta? I said, sure, but all I have is a whole wheat pasta. He said, that's okay. Somebody had given me from Bricos in the North End. They had given me their pasta, and I made it and I tried it, and it was totally fine. Now, Delalo's pasta, which is at Shaw's, you will never know the difference. Actually, you might even like it more.
You can spell it for them too.
So Delalo, D-E-L as in Larry, A-L-L-O, Delalo. And
there was one time we were in a supermarket, and I think they've really expanded to other products because they had something in almost every aisle we were in.
Yeah, so
they're cracking up.
So Delalo now makes sauces and many other things, but it's the pasta that I completely love. I haven't tried their other things, but I totally love it. And you're going to be following a Mediterranean diet, Steinler Consulting, with low carbs, and maybe help keep our lungs and bodies in general not so inflamed and ready to fight any virus. I wouldn't necessarily go low carb because you need fiber and whole grains to give yourself the healthy bacteria in your gut, and that will help you to fight infection. So I would just, as always, be selective in the type of carbohydrate that you include, including foods really high in fiber and whole grain. What you want to really be mindful of is avoiding yo-yo dieting. But if you find that up until this point, because sometimes it takes us a little while to get our bearing or to get used to a new schedule, perhaps, is that if you find that you've been not doing great, then don't worry about it. It's all about how you go forward. Pick yourself up and go forward. This is an adjustment for all of us. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. The yo-yo dieting, the up, down of weight will impact your immunity. And that's exactly what you're looking to not have happen. Anecdotally, no study, there have been reports that people who are obese, people who have compromised immune function, so people who are elderly or very young whose systems are not quite developed or might be compromised, those who have underlying diseases have gotten sicker from coronavirus than those who don't. So go you, Tom Monahan. You're going to give it a try, because you've got an open mind and you're young in your mind, and that's just what we're looking for. That's awesome, Tom. Go you. So that recipe is beyond. So try the whole wheat the whole wheat pasta. Steel cut oats. Let me know if any of you are having those. Steel cut oats can be made savory or sweet. I personally like it sweet, but there are those who make it savory and they love it. But make it with milk to give yourself more protein, and add some cinnamon or some fruit to that. See, it's the fiber we're looking for. High fiber cereals are also great and last for a long time on your shelf, as do eggs, as do dried popcorn kernels. It's fun to have a popcorn party, particularly if you're watching a lot of movies these days. Chocolate has anti-aging flavonoids, so I'm for that. Just make sure it's dark chocolate. The darker the chocolate, the more flavonoids you'll get, the more heart healthy benefits you'll get, at least 60-70% cocoa. Susan, go you have steel cut oats every day. What a great way to start your day. I have to tell you, my son every morning does the same thing. It's just a great way to start your day. It blocks the action of the absorption of cholesterol, and it gives you a whole grain to reduce inflammation. That's just what we're looking to do. So good for you. And it helps give you the healthy bacteria in your gut. That's a win-win-win. So go you, Susan. I love it. And it lasts for a long time. So you don't have to get a healthy stock, and then you don't need to keep replenishing. But plenty of fruit, and it can be flash frozen. It's just as nutritious as your fresh. Same thing with vegetables. They can be frozen. They can be fresh. You can get shelf-stable milk. I talked about that last week. And you can make all kinds of delicious things with. I would freeze my breads so that they can hold longer. You can freeze proteins like fish. I personally don't, but you can. That's what I'm going to tell you, as long as they haven't been previously frozen. So, I like to keep it real. I like to tell you how I really do things, and then what is something that you could do. So let me know if you guys freeze your fish or not. I definitely freeze my chicken for that. I definitely do. And you can freeze yogurt to make a frozen yogurt. So I have taken the Fage and the Dan and Light and Fit Greek 80, and I have frozen them before in cups and made popsicles, and they're yummy. And it just becomes like a frozen treat, which is wonderful. There are, for vegetarians out there, you can get frozen meals like frozen cauliflower bowls and frozen burritos, and they'll last in your freezer, and you have go-to meals that will keep you feeling healthy and satisfied during this time and minimize your need to go out. There was a recipe I saw. I haven't made it before, but I thought I'd share it with you. It was called, but it sounded kind of interesting. It was called Buffalo Garbanzo Snackers. So if you toss a 15-ounce strained can of garbanzo beans with a tablespoon of oil, and then you add 2 teaspoons of hot sauce and 2 teaspoons of white wine vinegar, and just a little bit of salt. You can roast it for 25 minutes, and it gets crispy, and they say it's delicious. I have not yet tried it, but I thought I'd share it with you. It's an interesting kind of a snack. You can also make things more exotic. For example, you could saute asparagus in sesame oil. You could do a niçoise kind of a salad with hard-boiled eggs and turkey and all kinds of veggies. And it'd be delicious. My husband loves a Cobb salad, so it's fun to make fun salads where you do rows of vegetables and different proteins. I think that would be yummy. Or you could make it a totally vegetarian salad with quinoa to give you the complete protein and all the veggies. Be yummy, yummy, yummy. So have fun with this and include foods that won't make you have to run to the market every minute. You could have a nacho party with whole grain nachos. Make sure if you're buying corn tortilla chips that it's made from whole corn flour. And you could have a pizza party with a whole wheat pizza crust and Baby Bell cheese and the Rayo's pizza sauce, which I love. You could have a potato bar, bake a potato and have everybody put different toppings on it. Refer to my previous videos on entertaining and on 4th of July, and it'll show you that. Party on the Deck will show you some of these ideas. You can get Enlightened bars. They're delicious treats that are pre-portioned. And you can make all kinds of dishes made from brown rice like the one I just mentioned, which is amazing. That's what I got to tell you. It is amazing. I think that's going to be on my menu tomorrow. So tell me if I've been helpful during this time. It has been so great to be with you. I love that you're eating healthy. I love that you guys are walking. And I also love that you're open to new ideas and trying new foods. This is what it's all about. We're all in this together. So letting us stay together like this is wonderful. Hi, Janice. Stay safe. How are your colleagues? You love the popcorn topping. Yay. And you made pizza, the flatbread pizza with the Baby Bell cheese. That is so awesome. You guys are doing it. You are walking the walk, and we're all in here together. So my colleagues are doing great. We are all working from home, and we're all doing telehealth. So we like to stay connected with people, and we're trying to do our best by doing this. There are a few who've gone into the hospital, onto the front lines, and we'll watch and see as the need dictates if that's going to happen. But for now, we're all doing telehealth and trying to do our part to stay connected. But thanks for asking. Hi, Janice. Fantastic. I worry for you all. Thank you. We're doing our best to stay safe. Hi, Tom. Always great information. You had an epic fall this week. Whole wheat popovers. Wow. You could use them as a hockey puck, but you tried, and that's the whole. So think about what made them so hard and how might you adjust the recipe. But what I love is that you cook, and what I love is that you do experiment with different things, and sometimes you hit it out of the park, and sometimes you just fall. But you learn from those things, and sometimes you think you've done something that's going to throw a recipe right off, and then you taste it and you say, oh my gosh, it's actually good. This mistake turned out to be something that I might keep. So that's fun that you're cooking, and Boudin's excellent. So I am so glad. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. I want you to stay safe. We may continue to do coronavirus. I'm not sure. But if there's something you want me to talk about on live stream, definitely put that in the suggestion box. Let me know. If anybody is here and they haven't yet subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. That will allow me to continue to do this. As many of you know, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can start to cook with you and get a little more freedom and do this from my mobile device. But let me know. I could then maybe take you on a, we'll see. I have all kinds of ideas for the future, like going to the supermarket and that kind of thing. But we'll see as the virus dictates the timeline, not any of us. But I'm glad to hear you're all doing well. I'm glad to hear that you're practicing. Hi, Janice. The suggestion box, you could go on you could put it in comments, and you could also go on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Dishin with the Dietitian, on Facebook, and you could put it there as well. So either place, I love to take suggestions, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. If you have something that you want me to cover, I would be happy to. So I'm so thrilled you're all here, because I miss you all, and this is a great way to stay connected. So everybody stay healthy, practice good habits, and you rock too. Right back at you, Steinler Consultant. Fabulous. So have a great night, everybody. I don't want to keep you too long, because maybe you have a movie in your future. But have a great night. Enjoy healthy foods. And I'm sending my love out to all of you. It's been really just a joy to talk with you like this. And glad to hear how well you're doing. So I will catch up with you in 2 weeks. And I look forward to checking and seeing if you have those suggestions. I'll be looking for those. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.